Smart homes are pretty incredible, right? With just a tap on our phones, we can control literally everything, from our lights to our locks. But as we keep connecting more and more of our lives to the internet, this really important question pops up. Just how secure is our smart sanctuary? So let's dive into the weak spots of our connected homes and see how this revolutionary tech, which you probably know from cryptocurrency, might just be the key to locking them down for good.
Seriously, think about it for a second. When you tell your smart speaker to unlock the front door, who or what is actually giving the okay on that command? Is it really you? Is it the company that made the device? Your internet provider? This one question right here gets to the absolute core vulnerability of pretty much every smart home out there today.
Without really thinking about it, we've all accepted a huge trade-off. On one hand, we get this amazing convenience, but on the other, as all the research shows, we're basically opening our front doors to some pretty big vulnerabilities. Every single new device we add can become another potential backdoor for someone to snoop on our data or mess with our stuff.
Okay, so to really get why this vulnerability even exists, we need to look at a little secret that's kind of hidden in the way most smart homes are designed. It's a fundamental choice that creates one single massive weak spot.
And this is it. This is the big one. In the rush to make things easy, most smart homes were built with a really simple but also really dangerous architecture. Everything, and I mean everything, flows through one central server. It's usually controlled by the device manufacturer, so if that one server gets hacked or is compromised or even just goes offline, your entire smart home could be controlled by someone else. Or it could just stop working altogether.
So how in the world do we fix this massive flaw? Well, researchers are turning to a technology you probably associate with Bitcoin. But its real potential goes way, way beyond just finance. It's time we start looking at blockchain not as a currency, but as a completely new foundation for digital security.
So, to put it simply, a blockchain is basically like a digital record book. But here's the cool part. Instead of one person holding it, everyone in the network has their own copy. And once a transaction gets written down and sealed with some seriously advanced math, it cannot be changed. Ever. It's this distributed, tamper-proof nature that makes it so incredibly powerful. And this is where the genius of blockchain really, really shines. Over on the left, you've got that old model with its single vulnerable point of failure. But on the right, you see the decentralized blockchain network. Here, every device is a peer. There's no central server to attack. To compromise the system, a hacker would have to take down every single device at the exact same time, which is, well, pretty much impossible. That's the power and the resilience of decentralization.
All right, so we get the theory, but how does this whole decentralized network thing actually work to protect your data and control who gets into your home? Let's take a look at how it plays out in the real world.
The difference is just night and day. Traditional systems, they're centralized, they're vulnerable, and they force you to put all your trust in a single company. Blockchain completely flips that model on its head. The structure is decentralized, the data is tamper-resistant, and trust is spread out across the entire network, not stuck in one place. And here's the biggest takeaway. This whole setup puts control and the ownership of your data back where it belongs, with you. So, what does this actually look like in practice? Well, imagine you want to give a friend temporary access to your front door. You send out the request, which gets broadcast across the entire network for verification. Once a bunch of devices confirm it's legit, that permission is sealed into the blockchain as a permanent, irreversible record. Then something called a smart contract, which is just a fancy term for a bit of self-executing code, automatically grants the access exactly how you defined it. No big company acting as a middleman. Now, this isn't just theory or some sci-fi concept. This is a super active and fast-growing field of research. So let's look at what the experts are actually building and studying right now based on a big review of all the current science. A recent, really thorough review looked at 52 different research papers, all on this exact topic. Now, that number alone tells you something huge. The academic and security communities are taking this technology very, very seriously. This isn't some niche idea anymore. It's a major new frontier of innovation. And you can literally see that interest exploding right here. I mean, there's been this clear, rapid growth in research on this topic, and it's spiked in just the last couple of years. We are watching development in this field accelerate in real time. And this is where it gets really cool, because the solutions being developed are so different and creative. For example, you've got some researchers creating highly specific rules, like only this person can enter between 2 and 4 p.m. Others are mixing blockchain with machine learning to create systems that can adapt to new threats as they happen. And some are even building what they call zero-trust networks, where every single device has to constantly prove its identity to every other device.
But of course, no technology is a silver bullet. While the potential here is massive, the research is also really clear that there are some significant hurdles to overcome before a blockchain-powered smart home becomes the standard.
So here are the big 3 challenges. First, scalability. Can a blockchain network actually handle the billions of tiny transactions happening every second in millions of homes? Second, energy. We've all heard that blockchains like Bitcoin use a ton of power. We're going to need much more efficient models for this to be sustainable. And finally, interoperability. How do you get devices from Google, Apple, and Amazon to all play nicely on the same secure network? Solving these problems is what researchers are totally focused on right now. But despite these hurdles, the ultimate conclusion from all this research is overwhelmingly optimistic. It's pointing towards a future where our smart homes aren't just convenient, but are fundamentally more secure, more private, and truly built around us, the users. So, it really leaves us with a final thought. We started this by asking who holds the keys to your smart home. With blockchain, the answer could finally, truly, be you. The question now is, how soon will this technology become the foundation of the home itself?